In this video, I want to go through if Treyarch made a big mistake with Cold War Zombies, how they're releasing their DLC for Zombies, the lack of round-based maps, does Outbreak, Onslaught, Zombie LTMs, and other stuff in Cold War count as the overall DLC offering? We're going to compare it to Black Ops 3, especially the release schedule for Black Ops 3. Did we get more Zombies DLC back then, and did we get that DLC sooner than in Cold War? We'll talk about all of that in this video, and be sure to leave your comments, your ideas, your opinions on this down below. I want to give a big thanks to you guys yet again. We are 150 subs away from 76k, so if you are new, enjoying the content, I would very much appreciate if you do subscribe to the channel. And if we can go for 1,000 likes in the video, I'd appreciate that as well. Let's start first with the release dates here. Black Ops 3 Zombies versus Cold War Zombies. For one, Black Ops 3 released Friday, November 6, 2015. We had Shadows of Evil and The Giant, two round-based maps, two really solid maps to begin that game, and Black Ops 3's DLC 1 Awakening that included Der Eisendrache that released Tuesday, February 2nd, 2016, which gives you a difference of 88 days, 2 months, and 27 days in between the release of BO3 and DLC 1. Now for Cold War, look at this. Cold War released Friday, November 13th, 2020. We only got one round-based map, Die Maschine. If you want to count Dead Ops Arcade 3, you can, but I'm only really going to count Die Maschine. Really good map as well. I love Die Maschine. A really solid launch map. Firebase Z DLC 1 for Cold War released at the end of Season 1, February 4th, 2021. That's a difference of 83 days, 2 months, and 22 days. So pretty much the exact same difference between BO3's launch map and DLC 1. It seemed like we were waiting for so long back in December and January. We didn't know when Firebase Z would ever release, but in reality, we were in the exact same time frame. We were at the exact same pace as what we saw with BO3. To be fair, Treyarch originally told us that Firebase Z was going to release at the beginning of Season 2, and for Der Eisendrache back in 2015-2016, Der Eisendrache, if you guys don't remember, was revealed a month before the map came out. It was revealed back in December of 2015, and it didn't come out until the beginning of February 2016. So we knew about Der Eisendrache for a very long time before it came out. Firebase Z, we really only knew about it until 2 weeks before the release. So a lot of people weren't expecting Firebase Z to come out, but again, the dates kind of match up there. And as of DLC 1, even though BO3 had one extra round-based map than Cold War had two more limited time modes that BO3 did not have. They had Jingle Hells and Cranked was a pretty fun mode. Those are gone now, unfortunately. Cranked should definitely be a permanent mode, by the way. But BO3 did not have that. It did have one extra map, though. So I think most people do value the extra map. So at this point, BO3 had slightly more content in Zombies as of DLC 1. Now, between DLC 1 and DLC 2, things change drastically. This is just insane. For Black Ops 3, between DLC 1 Der Eisendrache and DLC 2 Zetsubou no Shima, that was February 2nd to April 19th, 2016. That gives you a gap of 77 days or 2 months and 17 days in between DLC. So slightly less than between launch and DLC 1. Now, between Firebase Z and Berlin isn't out yet. The expected release date for Berlin DLC 2 is the beginning of Season 4, and Season 4's release date is expected to be June 17th, and that's just based off of when the Season 3 Battle Pass ends. So this date might change, but most likely Berlin is releasing right at the beginning of Season 4. Between Firebase Z and Berlin, we've talked about this, there is a 133-day gap in between these two maps. That's over 4 months in between DLCs. We were on a good pace with Black Ops 3 Zombies, a little over 2 months in between zombie map updates in the game. Cold War Zombies, they just said, screw that, let's just wait double the time now for Berlin. Now, let's talk about Outbreak for a second. If you do include Outbreak, that released only 21 days after Firebase Z on February 25th earlier this year. Now, what do we classify Outbreak as? Is it a game mode? Is it a collection of maps? Do you even count those as maps, considering they're pretty much just fire team maps with zombies on them? Is it DLC 2? Most people do not regard that as DLC 2 in the traditional sense. Some people actually do, because technically DLC as it was before just isn't the same now. Call of Duty releases their updates in seasons, so technically Season 2 is DLC 2, downloadable content 2, And again, technically Outbreak is DLC 2 in the new sense, but in the old sense where DLC 1 is the round-based zombies map, DLC 2, 3, and 4 are the other round-based zombies maps in the game. And most people who play zombies refer to the DLCs as that. So again, technically, we still have not seen DLC 2, but Treyarch would probably argue that you did. You're just getting a different type of zombies content. And we'll talk about more about Outbreak, Onslaught, the other Cold War Zombies offerings in a second. But let's go through here. Let's continue this cycle of the gap between these DLCs. Now, between Zetsubou no Shima and Garada Krovi, April 19th, 2016 to July 12th, 2016, DLC 2, DLC 3, that's 84 days, 2 months, and 23 days. Black Ops 3 had such a good schedule in between their DLC zombie maps. Just so beautiful. For Cold War Zombies, it's a bit more difficult to tell what we're seeing for DLC 2 and DLC 3, but if you just add the 133 days again, a little over 4 months, the DLC 3 Zombies map would end up releasing in late October, October 28th, 2021. Now, I don't think the gap between Berlin and DLC 3 will exactly be 133 days. It doesn't have to be the exact same as between Firebase Z and Berlin, but you saw with Black Ops 3, 77 days, 84 days, 83 days, 88 days. I mean, it really wasn't that much of a difference. So, okay, Berlin, we have 120 days after Berlin, we see DLC 3. That's still the middle of October. That's still super late. So it's very concerning here, but we do have a glimmer of hope. Maybe if you look at Garada Krovi DLC 3 to Revelations DLC 4, the gap was shortened a lot. 56 days, only a month and 25 days in between those last DLCs in BO3. So maybe as you get towards the end of the year, the gap does shrink, and maybe between DLC 3 and DLC 4, we have a really short gap of only a month between these round-based maps. Who knows? But regardless, as you saw, Treyarch was really consistent with their round-based zombies maps back in Black Ops 3, and Cold War Zombies, it just sucks to see that lack of consistency, and even the fact that we have to think about, are we even gonna get 4 total DLC round-based zombies maps in this game? I mean, there's a good chance we don't see 4 DLC maps. I mean, you never really know what they're gonna do, so I don't know, man. It really does suck, but maybe this is just how it is now, and I do want to ask this question: does Outbreak, Onslaught, the zombie LTMs, other Cold War zombie features, does that count as the overall DLC offering for zombies? And does that match up against Black Ops 3 zombies? Because as of now, BO3 had more round-based zombie maps in the game, not even including Zombie Chronicles, just the 2 base maps and the 4 DLC maps. Of course, it's way too early to tell if Cold War Zombies will end up having more round-based maps that will equal that of BO3, or will have less. We really don't know what they're gonna do yet, but you do have to admit, Cold War Zombies has a lot more of a variety in this mode than we had in BO3. BO3, we only had round-based maps. You didn't have other game modes. Onslaught, which is zombies on the multiplayer maps, super fun. It sucks that it's only for PlayStation, but honestly, playing Onslaught, it reminds me of just like playing a new map for the first time. Even though it's on a multiplayer map, you learn new training spots. It's a bit more refreshing to play than just playing the same round-based map over and over again. You get to play on all of these new DLC maps that come out as well. Super fun there. Definitely really sucks that it's only for PlayStation. Outbreak 2, for me, I've been playing zombies for so many years now, and it's super refreshing to actually have different objectives to do in the game instead of just surviving. It's fun to just mix things up and play some Outbreak. Cranked was super fun as well. Jingle Hell's not as much, and if they do add grief to Cold War, this game is really going to be up there because BO3 didn't even have grief. So if Cold War gets grief, that would be insane. But overall, I think it depends on what you value in zombies. If you only care about and value the round-based maps in the game, Treyarch's efforts to provide different types of zombies content are pretty much worthless to you. But if you just like zombies in general and you overall like Cold War, it's been a pretty good year. You have a couple good round-based maps. You have a new game mode, Outbreak. Who would have thought they would have ever done Outbreak? You have Onslaught, if you can play it, really fun. Hopefully we get more limited time modes. I mean, Cold War Zombies has a solid offering in terms of content, and again, it just depends on what you value more. Let me know down below. I do definitely think that the round-based maps should be #1, and they shouldn't actually, steer clear of that. And honestly, it does suck that they're not focusing on the round-based maps as much, but if we do get other types of zombies content and we still get the round-based maps. We just have to wait a bit more for them. I'm actually fine with that. I would love to relive BO3. BO3's DLC season for zombies, super good. The dates were perfect. That's just not going to happen again, and unfortunately, we're in a new era, but Outbreak content's really cool. They're going to continue to evolve it. Maybe we'll get some zombie-specific maps. We might get some new game modes in the future. We might see Zombie Chronicles 2, so there's a lot of stuff that could happen here for Cold War Zombies. We just have to wait and see. Let me know your opinions on this down below. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a comment down below, zombies, if you watched the entire video. It is greatly appreciated. Shout out to the channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.